Peter of Rome Parish. Law Offices of Ruben Salazar. Alianza, North County.
Supporters.
Law Office of James P. Segal Gutierrez. San Diego Socialist Campaign. Greenleaf Law Office of, hold on. You gotta bear with me on this. This thing's Alianza, North County. San Diego Socialist Campaign. San Diego La Raza Lawyers Association. KICA, Tax and Immigration Services Community. Comunidad Peruana de Los Ángeles del Sur de California. Youth Council Peruvian Community of Los Angeles. Dreamers Moms USA Tijuana. Mr. Dignos USA. Latina Association of Riverside County. North County Immigration Task Force. Deported Veterans Support House page. Deported Veterans Support House. Califaslan Raza. Undocumented. United Democrats of Moreno Valley. Riverside County Democratic Party. Immigration Reform Committee. Welcome. Unidos Sin Fronteras. Señor Antonio Curiel and Advocates for Southbound Graphics. El Despertar del Sueño. Dreamers Moms. Poder Santa Bárbara. Brown Beret National Organization. Pathfinder Community of the Rising Christ Catholic Church. Ángeles Sin Frontera. All presente. It is great. It is great to have this support. It is great to have, we couldn't have done this alone, all right? We have a lot of work to do. But without the people's support of all these groups, none of this would have happened. I think every single one of them deserves a round of applause. Please. It is a great honor for me to present the next speaker. He's a co-founder of Undocumented. Ivan Ceja is an undocumented immigrant from Michoacán, Mexico. He was only a few months old when his parents brought him to the United States in 1992. They settled in Campton, California, where Ivan still lives today. Ivan demonstrated creative ability at an early age, and thanks to the unconditional support of his parents, he was determined to someday become a comic book artist. It was not until high school that Ivan changed his focus towards engineering. Having attended a math and science academy, he joined the robotics team and was fascinated by the art of invention and problem solving. Upon graduating high school, Ivan enrolled in Fullerton College to explore communities beyond his immediate surroundings. In 2009, he helped establish the Fullerton Dream Team, a campus club, and will engage in advocacy for undocumented students. Through his involvement, he found out about the California Dream Network and became a part of the statewide steering committee in 2010. During his term, Ivan met Justino Mora and several other undocumented student leaders throughout the state. In 2011, Justino and Ivan will work closely with other statewide representatives to lead and organize community efforts to ensure the successful passage of the California Dream Act. In addition, Ivan collaborated with Justino and friends to stop the deportation of a close friend, Ricardo Muñiz. The campaign to halt the deportation was a success with 14,604 signatures, a feat that was not common at the time among undocumented youth or even national networks. In 2012, he became among the first to be approved for deferred action. Overwhelmed by the number of questions about DACA he was receiving, Ivan sought a solution to better address everyone. With the help of his fiancée, Yvonne Gomez, he created Undocumedia. The purpose of Undocumedia is to disseminate information through various forms of media which pertains to legislation that address the undocumented community. It is an honor and a privilege to present Ivan.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivan Ceja. I'm undocumented, unafraid, and unapologetic. You can make as much noise you want behind the yellow tape because it only makes me stronger. And I will only speak louder. First off, I would like to thank Mark Lane and Jaime Fernandez for inviting me to speak, and for everybody else who took the initiative to organize this. I do a lot of online advocacy work, but my roots start with grassroots in the streets, organizing, protesting, so I think it's always nice to be able to come back and do something like this in person because Facebook statuses, tweets, and all those can only get us so far, right? Sometimes it takes initiative like all of you did to be here today and make sure that we are louder than those behind the tape, which I think we are. As he mentioned, I was brought here at 9 months old. I came with my dad came first in 1991, and then he saved up enough to bring my mom and myself in 1992. So I've been here since I was 9 months old. I'm turning 24 in November. I spent over 23 years approximately of my life here. So if you're saying that I should not feel American or identify as American, then I don't know what I should identify as or what you would identify as having lived somewhere your whole life for the exception of 9 months. I'm here because when I wasn't able to make it last year to the event that took place, but when I see those children, I remember that I had no choice in the conditions, the life that I was born into. I could have just as easily been born into one of those countries or the other countries that they're coming from and had to cross hundreds of thousands of miles at just 10 years old on my own, and I can't even begin to imagine what that would have been like. I see the pictures and I can't believe that those children are escaping life-threatening conditions, very, very dangerous conditions, and only to be welcomed by hatred, people screaming at buses. You had nothing else to do that day than to come and show up and do that. That speaks very bad of you, and I just can't believe that exists even in 2014, 2015. I'm here and I started getting involved in advocacy work right out of high school. I was 17 when I started college. I used to be very quiet, and I'll admit, even standing in front of you right now, it takes a lot from me because anybody who knew me prior knows I was always really quiet. And I think that's why I'm even louder now, because for so long we stay quiet. And I think it's the fear and the fury that people on the other side of the tape cause that makes me stronger and makes me want to speak louder, because I can't believe it exists, and I hope that someday I'll be able to raise my children here and they won't have to stand right here protesting against that. You know, they always tell us, you need to get in line and do things right. Well, guess what? My parents got in line in 2001, and they've been in line for the last 14 years, and I'm pretty sure they're going to spend another 14 before they see anything really happen. 2012, I aged out of that in-line process, whatever you want to call it, because I turned 21. So guess what? I have to find another way. It's not easy. It's not as easy as you think. It's not just putting yourself down on a list and then waiting for them to call your name like right away. It's really, really difficult. Unfortunately, right now, we are at a point in our country where we have people like Donald Trump and Ann Coulter who are telling us that we should hate where we come from because of maybe some of the political decisions and the government that's making decisions in the countries we were born at. But I'll say, I'm not ashamed to be identified as being born in Mexico, being from Mexico. Because along with coming from Mexico, my parents brought values and traditions that they taught me about. They made me humble. They told me not to stand up for others. My mom is a very fierce woman. She taught me to, be aggressive. My dad is a very caring man. He's always taught me to care for others no matter what, even when they don't do good to you. And I think that's very important. Just because some people don't forget that they're not native to here and decide to forget the history of many other ancestors who came here before, doesn't mean I have to deny my own or be ashamed. Some of you behind the tape need to ask yourself, and I think this is a very important question, especially amongst Donald Trump and Ann Coulter. Are you really against immigrants, or are you really just against those that don't look like you, those who look like me? Okay? Because the truth is, that's what it feels like. I wonder if those children on those buses were a little lighter skinned, colored eyes, would you have been standing in front of them just the same? And the truth is, I would be standing up for anybody regardless of what they look like. I was watching a video earlier today about Murrieta last year, and I saw that they said we shouldn't be taking on these problems when we have so many already. We have homeless, we have all these other children who are starving. But the problem is, those behind you that's behind the tape aren't even standing up for those either. So what are you really saying? On the contrary, I'm in LA, and I can tell you that a lot of undocumented immigrants, including some of my closest friends, my fiance, my friends who are here today, we're standing up for people who aren't undocumented, because the truth is, we've been kicked around for so long that we don't want anybody else having to feel that regardless of their status. We have to understand that this country's not perfect either. Congress is messing up, our government's messing up, but we're still waving our flag proudly. So for you to keep emphasizing the issues going on with the politics in other country, it doesn't make sense. We're still waving it proudly, right? Even though our Congress isn't addressing us. What really pisses me off the most and why I'm here is because DACA and DAPA, I've been working with it for a long time, studying it, helping people get ready. They estimate that it's going to bring in millions upon billions across the country in money to the different states, right? But they don't want to. They're so hesitant to approve it. We've waited, and nothing. But they don't hesitate to go ahead and enforce the detention of immigrants for profit and make sure that we have a certain number of immigrants in detention centers for profit. It doesn't make sense. You're choosing what you're profiting off of, and it's just affecting people. One thing is for sure, I didn't get to choose what side of the border I was born on, but I do get to choose what side of history I will stand on, and I'm really happy to be standing with all of you today. I want to make sure that, we continue. We're going to have to keep doing a lot of work still, but it's going to be well worth it. And I would just like to end it with something I read the other day. It reminded me of a quote I read a long time ago by Mahatma Gandhi. He says, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, but then you win, and we're gonna win." So make sure you don't ever forget that. Thank you very much.
Wow, man, that's a strong words. Unidos somos más fuertes. No hay línea, there's no line. If someone told you that there's a line and we should be waiting for that line, they're lying to you. There's no line, there was never a line. Alright, for those people behind the tape, if you're holding the flag back over there, let me tell you right now, you're doing a disservice to that flag.
Going to archive at 15 minutes. We have a lot of opposition behind the protest here. Heavy police presence. This is Michael Buell in Murrieta, California. Buell 003.
We gotta be louder. We gotta be louder.
I'm shouting out.
We gotta make some noise. We gotta let them know that they're wrong. They're dead
Shouting out to Dee Shanger,
Only ignorance.
Marie Countryman,
Only ignorance speaks like that.
Democracy Watch News,
It is a privilege for me to introduce
and the Americas.
a good friend, a person who I've learned
Gonna break into
to respect and appreciate very much.